What the fuck am I doing? Growing pains. Hi everyone, we are reporting live from the Williamsburg Bridge. This is where I go to think. This is kind of like, I'm not gonna say my office, but definitely where I go to reflect, meditate, etc. I spent a lot of time when I was training for Big Sur running over this bridge. I bike this bridge probably every day. I love it. It makes me feel small to look at the city skyline, but it also makes me feel so like empowered to know that I've made it, I'm here, I dreamed of living in New York, and I'm just so lucky to live this life. The point of this video is that we're gonna start a new series called Growing Pains. Now you might be asking, how did I come up with this title, whatever. I definitely had legit growing pains growing up. 6 feet tall, even though some people don't believe me on that, but I have been really growing into myself as an adult, which is super corny, super cheesy, I know. And I was sitting back the past 2 weeks as I haven't really done a lot of content or talked about my life, and I was thinking that I'm really growing into myself. I've had a lot of challenging things the past year and a lot of beautiful things too. A lot of things feel very bittersweet. Experiencing grief for the first time and working with that. At the same time, I've been experiencing love for the first time and going through that and kind of holding those two things together. I have been pushing myself athletically for the first time. I'm an athlete my whole life, but I don't think I had enough trust to really take myself to the next level. I didn't have a good relationship with food, my body, all of those things, and now I feel at a really solid point. Also, it's so loud. Welcome to New York. But I'm really excited to continue my running career, push myself, get faster, get fitter, get stronger, run longer distances, train for an ultra one day. I have a lot of dreams in like the running space. The last thing is that I'm planning to move in August. So my lease is up. I've been in New York for 7 years. 4 of them I was at NYU. I was only in dorms for like 1 year because NYU doesn't really have a lot of dorms. So I've moved a little bit. I've moved quite a bit, but I've never really had a space that's felt like mine. I think when I was in college, I just kind of kept my head down and I considered my apartment just to be a place that I slept. Didn't really have money to like get a nice place or furnish said place. Now I'm at a point with like more financial stability that I really want to invest in that space. So inspired by it, I feel inspired to film in it. And that's a lot of the reason that I don't film certain content. You guys ask me all the time for cooking videos, kitchen things, pantry things, you know, sea moss girly supplement things. How do I make a Sleepy Girl mocktail? What do I do with cottage cheese, etc. I get a lot of questions asking for running videos like dynamic warm-up, kind of what do I do before I run? And honestly, I don't feel inspired in my space. It's just kind of dingy and shitty, like it doesn't have good natural lighting. So I don't really film those videos as frequently as I like to. I'm really excited to invest in a space that has that good lighting, which is like stupid to say out loud, but like it is my job to film content, so it is pretty important. Being a renter too, I was like, I don't really want to like buy nice furniture and stuff because I'm always gonna be moving, but I want to have a home base in New York that I really enjoy. Those are the growing pains that I'm going through. I'm excited to take you guys along to talk about grief, to talk about love and loss and running and all the things. Thursday, May 9th, it's about a week and a half after I've run the Big Sur Marathon. Getting back into running, not pushing myself in that capacity. I also think another piece of content that I would be really excited to film is showing you guys how I put together outfits and just more of my wardrobe, showing how I decide what pieces and organize everything. So I think if I have a bigger space, I'd be more motivated to film that content too. I think some of you guys don't know that I originally thought I was gonna work in fashion. The first job I had here when I was 18 was a fashion internship, and that's like the path that I thought I was gonna go down. I didn't love it. I was pushed more to politics. Now I do social media, so I've done a lot of things under the sun, but the fashion stuff I feel very excited to do once I do have that space. And also with moving, I'm gonna be decluttering my closet, getting rid of shit that doesn't serve me, fit me, I don't wear anymore, it's not my style. So we'll see that process together. That's the update. Welcome to Growing Pains. Hi YouTube, welcome back to Growing Pains. We are about to head out on a run. I have no distance in mind, so we're gonna see how far my body takes me. This is the first time that I'm kind of pushing myself, or I guess I'll say I'm allowing myself to push myself after the marathon. Haven't really had the urge to do distance or a whole lot of running. It's about 2.5 weeks after the marathon. Computer is still out of commission, so I'm taking this as a little sign from the universe that I need to slow down and just chill. I'm filming much of my weekends, but I want to get better about filming my weeks and taking you guys along with all the things that I'm working through. Today's main challenge is going to be fitness and see what my body can do. By the end of marathon training, it's not that I'm unfit, but I definitely feel beat up. You know, I feel like there's always an ache or a pain that I'm tending to, and I'm excited to have a clean slate where my body's feeling good and I can just intuitively listen to it. Also, I'm not following a training plan, so like if I get out the door and I want to cut it at 2 miles, I totally can. Nutrition and food, I'm allowing myself to relax. I'm allowing myself to stay out more. I think balancing social stuff with running is really important. I think I'd be burned out if I said no to every social obligation. I would feel really unfulfilled. You know, like loneliness is something like equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day or something. That being said, it's really important to honor those social engagements because I'm not a professional runner, so I'm just running for fun. But we're gonna see what my body can do. I'm in my full Planet Noosa set. We have a Planet Noosa event next weekend. We're gonna be shooting my collection in New York, so I'm very excited about that. But let's get going out the door. I will talk to you guys later. Welcome back to Growing Pains. We had a crazy breakdown yesterday just about grief. I don't know really what triggered it, but my whole day I was just bawling. And it kind of sucks when that happens, and I feel like grief is so uncontrollable. The emotions feel so heavy and big and like out of nowhere. And it's really complicated, and I'm working through it. And like, I think my reaction to my dad passing can change throughout my life, but the fact that he passed is like a constant that I have to live with and figure out. So this morning, to get out of my funk, went on a 3-mile run, made breakfast, did every little routine thing that I feel like I was lacking. You know, just taking time off from running, like the marathon. I used to have running as like my first thing I would do in the morning. Obviously like breakfast too, and like coffee, whatever. But without having that, I felt like I was in such a weird rut after the marathon. Hey everyone, it's a Tuesday. I'm here in Brooklyn going to an event. I feel like the only reason I remember to bring my camera is because I had something to do that was like new and interesting besides just like me kind of working out, grocery shopping, filming little videos. But I got a new little set. It might look like pajamas, whatever. It's from Domson Madden. Physical therapy today with my PT to work on my posture and my rib cage, which is a little bit slouched over. I think I've mentioned that to you guys before, but he even said the word growing pains, and he does not know about this series, which was very interesting. I'm doing a lot of stuff athletically, a lot of stuff mentally. You know that I'm moving in August and I'm in a new relationship, which is how I've been spending my weekends, which is very beautiful. Lover girl era, something I never imagined before. So I'm very happy and filled with joy. There are moments when grief hits me, like last week, I started bawling, crying, and the rest of the day was kind of done for. I've been allowing myself to just have those days and really accept it. I don't really know the point of filming, other than updating you guys that we're still going through it. The body's feeling better, and I'm not really training for anything, but we're making improvements. Yeah. Okay, hi everyone, I'm in Williamsburg walking home. I'm about to FaceTime my mom. We had our little run with Planet Noosa and S'more in the East Village this morning, which was super fun. I feel like in summer and spring, I forget how you just like run into your friends, or like maybe that's a New York City thing, but I run into so many of my friends and like connected them, like the people that didn't know each other or whatever. And it's just so cute and rewarding to see the girlies. So I'm gonna walk home, eat some dinner, probably go out. YouTube, we are gonna leave the apartment for the day. It's a Thursday. I actually put on an outfit, which is new for me. I feel like I just sit and like rot in my bed all day, but we're gonna get outside, get inspired, feel more creative. I've been reading a book, which is not technically like the theme of this video, but it's called Filter World. It talks about algorithms and how that changes our taste, our desire, how we seek out content. I've been reading it as someone who both consumes content and creates content. I often find myself getting dopamine rush when I do get that validation on a post and a post as well. I also got really down in the dumps and question myself, like, when the algorithm works against me. A lot of people talk about being shadow banned. I feel that way particularly on TikTok, where like hundreds of thousands of followers, my videos don't get that many views, and I take full ownership if my videos aren't interesting or anything, but I feel like there's something off, and it kind of has been bothering me for a few years now, and I don't really know what to do about it, so I feel like that has been influencing how I create content. I want to get back to creating content from a place of love and what I would actually want to see. I highly recommend that book for those who create, those who don't create, and maybe you just consume content. The book really made me think about my own relationship with technology, so I highly recommend that you guys check it out. Algorithmic anxiety is something of the contemporary plague. It induces an OCD-ish tendency in many users towards hyper-awareness and the need to repeat the same rituals, because when these rituals work, the effect is so compelling, resulting in a both psychological dopamine rush from receiving attention and a potential economic reward if your online presence is monetized. It has been a month since I ran the Big Sur Marathon. I want to update you guys on my growing pains. So those include grief, love moving content. I feel like it's been hard for me to document this period. It's felt really slow and like I haven't been doing anything interesting, but some of my highs and some of my lows are as follows. But number one, my Planet Noosa collection. My friend Carl came into New York City from DC. He shot the collection. The girls from Copenhagen from the brand came out as well. It was my first time seeing the pieces the day that we shot it. We shot like 11 looks and I believe that there's 12 pieces in the collection. Don't quote me on that. It'll come out June 16th. I'm super excited for you guys to see it. International shipping. Still haven't even seen like the professional photos yet. I've only seen the behind the scenes stuff, but that was a beautiful day and just such like an accomplishment for me to be able to share with you guys. I worked retail at Outdoor Voices. I've always been an active person. I've always been interested in like running and fashion and felt like there's a huge void in the activewear space. And you guys have been so kind about the collection and the strawberries and everything. So I'm really excited for you guys to see that June 16th. Another positive is running and athletic stuff is going really well. My PT and I have had a huge breakthrough with posture and just me becoming a more efficient runner. So what that looks like is just like me standing up taller, breathing better. Your diaphragm and lungs are so important as a runner, and obviously like your gait and your feet and your legs and all that shit matters. Lower body feels pretty good, so we have been focusing on the upper body, and I'm starting to see a lot of improvements in my pace and how I feel. I don't feel as tired after runs. I've been diversifying movement, so I've been going to spin class, lifting a lot, jump rope today, did some Pilates, so that's been feeling really good. One of the biggest cons is I feel pretty depressed, and I don't want to use depressed lightly. I know that that is like a real mental illness, and I have had that at points in my life, like diagnosed. Life just feels a little dull, and it's summer and it's beautiful and a lot of great things are happening to me, but I just feel like a dark cloud over my head some days, and I think it's because I don't really have like any goals with social media. I don't know if that makes sense. Actually, what I talk about on social media is like what marathon I'm running, and so since I don't have that, I feel like I don't film as much daily content. I'm not really talking about running because I'm just like moving pretty casually. I told you guys that I'm moving in August, so I've been doing some decluttering, which feels good. I'm a little bit anxious about the whole moving process. It's expensive. I don't really know where. I don't know if I'm gonna find a place. New York City moving, you literally can't look for apartments until like maybe the month before you want to move because stuff just goes up so quickly. So it's May right now and there's no point of me looking into all that shit right now. Grief sucks. I think I've had the realization that every achievement in my life, you know, the Planet Noosa collection, Big Sur, being in a relationship, my dad's never gonna be there to celebrate those things with me. And that's a really harsh thing to say out loud, but I think that's been my biggest realization with grief the past month. Initially, I was just really sad and confused and angry. Now it's settled in that it's like very real. My mom has to live the rest of her life without my dad, and I've been thinking about her like every day, and I just get a lot of anxiety about that too. And I think grief sort of trickles over into love and my relationship, which I'm not going to talk that much in depth about. Anxiety has been at an all-time high. I had a lot of anxiety when I was in high school, kind of surrounding AP tests and college recruiting for volleyball and all of that shit. But now I have a lot of anxiety about the future. You know, I think as a content creator, I don't really have a career. Like, is a career for me getting more followers? Is me moving up the ladder, like getting X brand deal or Y brand deal? Like, I don't necessarily care about it, but then I think when I like sit back and think about like, I've been kind of doing the same thing for the past few years, and obviously there's been like ups and downs with it and like high points and low points. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Does that make sense to you guys? It's a new industry, there aren't really guidelines, and I'm happy to be where I am, and I don't really like future planning, but every now and then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? So those have been the general highs and lows, but it is summer, it's beautiful outside. I'm really proud of myself for pushing myself athletically, being more in touch with myself, doing a lot more self-regulating of my emotions. I'm a very big emotional girly, and it's really hard for me to not dump onto people, but then also like process that separately, also tell people how I'm feeling and like figure out that balance. So that's been a growing pain, but I think I'm gonna cap off this video here. I booked myself on a fun solo trip, which will be the next video. I'm not gonna tell you guys where I'm going until I'm there. So I'll see you in where I go. And thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. And I'll talk to you in the next episode of Growing Pains.